My day generally starts around 5:30ish, which is when I naturally wake up with daylight. The first thing I do is touch my tent wall to see how much condensation has built up overnight. If there is condensation, I wipe it down in the hope that I might only have to pack up a damp tent rather than a soggy, waterlogged mess. Usually I just have some sort of bar for breakfast, but on this stretch I am treating myself with granola. So I heat up water for chai and then add the granola to that. While I wait for the water to boil, I start to pack up my stuff. My air pillow, my silk liner. By then the water has boiled. I add the chai and granola. Then enjoy. After eating, I wash my pot with my finger, drink the dregs because no food goes to waste, and leave no trace. Then I pack up my cooking gear. My tent and my sleeping bag both had condensation that morning, but there's not much that I can do about that, so with a quick wipe, I pack it up anyway. Then I get changed. Enjoy the view from my tent while I do that, as we're family friendly around here. Next is the saddest sound in the world to a hiker. The deflation of an air mattress, because it means you definitely have to get up. The air mattress gets rolled up, then it's time to put everything into my bag. Finally, it is time for the puffy to come off, and that is everything that goes deep inside my bag where it won't get wet. I do a quick wipe of any condensation that has dripped onto the floor, quickly redo my hair into a ponytail and a plait so that I don't end up with dreads, which is what would happen without a brush within 2 hours. Then the hat goes on. Lastly, it's time for socks, gaiters and shoes, which are sometimes still wet or damp from the day before, and the thing I least look forward to putting on in the mornings when that is the case. As I get out of my tent, I throw out the things I wear or that go in the outside of my pack. But before I pack up my tent, it is toilet time. I look for an appropriate bush to hide behind, dig a hole for number 2s. I use tissues as toilet paper, which also gets buried. Then everything goes back into my poop kit and I sanitize my hands. Finally, my tent gets packed up. I finish packing my bag with everything that goes in the outside pockets, and I'm ready to go for the day. This all takes around 45 minutes to an hour. And then an AirPod goes in for a podcast. Some prehistoric wall information boards. Then there is a lot of walking. It's about 8:15. It is first snack time. This is a walking snack break. I get them out of my fanny pack, which, hang on, is unicorn vomit in colour. So that's what they had at Walmart. And for my first snack, I'm going for the bag of lollies. And I've been trying to get all the Americans I'm around to call them lollies as well. I'm half successful, but love a good lolly as a snack. Got some sugar. They're a little bit water content. I don't know, that helps, I feel. And I keep walking. 8:32 a.m. I saw a piker that didn't run away.
If you haven't heard of piker, do yourself a favour and Google it. "9:44 a.m. collecting water to filter.
It is 9:50 and morning break time. First of all, toilet stop. Again, it's find a bush. This grosses people out who don't hike, but this is called a cooler cloth. It basically acts like toilet paper, and you can use it again and again. So that is what I use. So I'm now going to go find a bush. That was actually really hard to find a bush because the trail switchbacks and I'm on a Forest Service road, which means people could come from any direction. But I found a bush and nobody came, so it was all good.
Then I put out my tent and sleeping bag to dry.
While that's out and drying in the sun, I'm gonna have a little break. First things first, some bug spray, because the mozzies are out in force. And you can't have a decent break if you're being attacked by mozzies. Next thing, some food. I'm gonna go for some Fritos. Actually, I've been really enjoying packing out chips. They've been great. Next up for morning tea break, salted caramel cookie bar with dark chocolate. Haven't really been loving chocolate bars this trip. They're too sweet. But I'm hoping that this one in dark chocolate's good. And my hope for that is because chocolate bars are at least high in calories, and that's what you need, high calorie stuff, because we're burning so much. So verdict, it's like a Twix but in dark chocolate. So not too sweet, so that's okay. Last thing I need to do on my break, A, drink water. But also filter more water. So I just collected some at the river down there. And now, alright, let's see if it will filter this time. And now we're good to drink again, hopefully without getting giardia. I'm almost all packed up from my break again, but I have one last thing to do, swapped out shirts because it's starting to get hot. But put sunscreen on. I try to do it every 2 to 3 hours. But yeah, I've still ended up with a wicked tan, which is not good. But yeah, short of wearing full body clothing, I don't know how to stop that. So instead, sunscreen just keeps going on every 2 to 3 hours. It is at 11:45. I've got 2 more miles of a climb coming up. So I've just stopped, having a little rest on a log. I'm going to put my backpack back on and plod up a hill.
More walking. Heading up to that saddle. It is 1:11 and I'm stopping for a break. Made it to the top of the climb. This is my lunch. Wrap it up like this. Cheese, honey, a tortilla. A little tortilla. Here's what that tastes like. And that is my lunch. And a typical lunch scene of Ziploc bags everywhere. So I've eaten lunch and now I'm just lying here on my backpack, enjoying a little time, a little rest in the intermittent sun. But I'm pretty sure out over there I can hear thunder. It's not the direction I'm going in, but still. It could move in this direction and I don't want it to. It is sunscreen time again, even though the sun's half gone away. Slip, slop, slap's what they say. Or slip, slop, slap, slide, something. I don't know. It changed after I was a child. Slide on some sunnies. I think I remember that. PM, walking towards a lake. It is just after 2:30 and it is snack time again. This time, this Ziploc baggie has M&Ms and yogurt covered raisins in it. So it's 3 PM. At 3:45 it started spitting rain, so I got into my rain gear. The only rain pants the store had were men's, so I have to keep them up with the fanny pack. I started walking in the rain, but then 4 PM. I sat under a tree for about 45 minutes and now decided it's cleared enough that I can start walking again. Almost 5 o'clock. Perfect, Marmot. What you doing? You want my food? You can't have it. It's not yours. Nope. No. My food is not your food. I made it to camp just in time to set up my tent before it started raining again. With everything, including me, safe inside my tent, everything comes out of my bag, then the first thing I do is get into warm clothes. Then I start setting up for the night, air mattress and sleeping bag before I start to cook dinner. I boil water for chai, eat a Tim Tam, which I was very excited to find. Then I use the remaining water for dinner, which tonight is dehydrated black beans, which I add a nacho mix to, cheese, and then some crushed up corn chips. It's hiker nachos on trail. While I wait for the beans to rehydrate, I put my snacks for the next day into Ziploc bags. And if you've been keeping track, that's only around 2,200 calories that day, but often I am burning between 3,500 to 4,000 calories, so I make up for the calorie deficit in town. I brush my teeth. I then leave my tent once more for the night to pee. That night, the fog had rolled in. Then I tuck myself up in my tent for the night, and I'm usually asleep by hike of midnight at 9 p.m.